Thanks.
Oh, okay. So basically, we are a local NGO as a flagship species, try to advocate on the conservation of the water birds and the mudflat. So this is where we live in the middle of the Flyway. And we have actually very small team, only 3 full-time staff, but we have great volunteers and many young scientists helping us out. And some of them are sharing their presentations in this conference. Actually, I'm talking a little bit about the policy background for us, because we started counting the birds in the Jiangsu coast in 2008. We first found some big number of spoonbill sandpiper in Jiangsu, and we then extend our survey field area to more mudflat in Jiangsu coast. But at that time, we still have some big project on the land reclamation. And it was in 2016, we already found 90% of population of spoonbill sandpiper in the South Yellow Sea, or so-called the Jiangsu coast. But there is a very favorable policy change in 2018, the State Council Document 2024. Actually, in China, from 2018, we will stop all and the even better news come in last year, 2019. It became the first coast water world natural heritage in China. So this is actually a big encouragement for the local NGOs to keep up working in the Jiangsu coast. Another background is that we have a local working in the city of called Lianyungang for 10 years, but sometimes it's only by 1 or 2 bird watchers, but still they have a good findings. In 2014, 16, 2014, 2015, and 2016, they have found a big number of Asian Dowitchers. It was in the recent paper by Dr. student Chen Yingzhi, and the of the in Lianyungang Asian Dowitchers and good numbers of bar-tailed godwit, and as well as the black-tailed godwit. Actually, Lianyungang has a very good number of species. It has 20 shorebird species that exceed 1% of the flyway population, which kind of the number of the 300 shorebird sites in the flyway. This map shows where the Lianyungang city locates. It's 500 kilometers north of the Shanghai, and you can see it's kind of in the middle of the flyway, also in the middle of the Yellow Sea area. Here are the sites we are working on. Lianyungang actually had 6 river mouths. We count the birds in the 3 of them in the middle of we call the Xinzhuanghe mudflat, Qingkouhe mudflat, and the Linhouhe mudflat. Actually, before 2012, the local birdwatcher also counting the birds in the south mudflat, we call it Lieziko river mouth, but it has been lost due to the development. In 2019, the spring counts, northward counts, we counted the 47 species of water birds here. And also, actually, this is the same map. We counted over 10,000 shorebirds in the 3 mudflat together. But in previous records, Qingkouhe itself only can hold over 10,000 shorebirds in this 1 mudflat. This map also shows where we count. Generally, we have 3 teams. Each will stay in one of the black dots from the north to the south, and we will count the birds in the rising tide and where they roost. But the high tide roost is keep changing. Here the picture shows the falling tide of the Qingkouhe River. The mudflat has been taken by the invasive plant Spartina grass. Also, there are buildings not far away on the other side of the river mouth. But in the rising tide at the Qingkouhe mudflat, this is a very, very big place and a good feeding place for shorebirds. So we counted 22,002 Asian Dowitchers, which account for the 97% of the flyway populations. Early this year, we repeated the counts. This year, we counted percent of the flyway population. I mean the Asian Dowitchers. Actually, before we know we know very little about the Asian, and we know that the Asian Dowitcher has a breeding site in the Mongolia and also winter in the Indonesia and India. In 2019 and this year, we also have the flags from both sides, from the breeding ground and the winter ground, and also India. We also do the count in the southward migration. There are less Asian Dowitchers in autumn. The peak number comes in August 4th. We have 3,040 Asian Dowitchers. We also noticed that the small numbers of young juvenile Asian Dowitchers come to the this table shows the 2020 years count. In spring, the highest numbers, and in the autumn count, almost the same day, we have the peak count of the 6,000 Asian Dowitchers. We are not aware that we are the during the southward migration. As I said earlier, there's a lot of birds in Lianyungang mudflat. I mean, water birds. In spring, last year's spring and this year's spring, we have many flag sightings from many different countries. 2019, we have over 200 counts of marked birds. This year, we have double the number, 484 counts of marked birds from many different countries. Have the flag birds from Indonesia and Mongolia. More interesting is that in 2009, marked black-tailed godwit, which is the very first batch sightings other than the banding sites. I mean, banded from the people in Australia. And this year we see less flagged black-tailed godwit, but still we found there are 55% of reappearance of marked black-tailed godwit. The reason why we have less birds is because there are human disturbance on the mudflat. The people essentially putting the fireworks on the mudflat to stop the birds. Be raise a claim. Also, is that the great notch in Lianyungang has a different lifestyle. The one flagged green knot showed us that the green knot may prefer fly 10 kilometers travel from the feeding mudflat to the high roosting areas. We guess maybe this is suitable high tide roost is very limited for them, but we need more observation in the again, Lianyungang together with the Jiangsu, the natural heritage sites, has connecting the migration on the Flyway from the Northeast Australia, stop at the Lianyungang to Bohai Bay and back to Jiangsu, then back to the Northwest Australia. Then the last few slides, obviously the Spartina grass is the biggest ones. The first it's taking the good mudflat and making us the counting job very difficulties, and also together the human disturbance making the counting of the birds and also the birds activities are very difficult to predict. Also, we noticed that there are small projects ongoing in some areas, fish ponds, wetland park, and so far there's no natural reserve in Lianyungang. So I mean, wetland park is not an actual natural reserve or protected areas for the water birds. The last one is the Blue Bay project. This picture was taken 2 weeks ago, and it's almost done, the Blue Bay project. It's an actual legal project approved before 2018, and it has a lot of wetland park, human programs, but it's just sitting at the neighboring of our one of the biggest feeding area and the high tide roosting of the water birds, the Limnodromus river mudflat. Here is the plan for the next 2 or 5 years. First, we are doing our surveys in a more frequent and covering a little bit about black-tailed godwit and great knots. And we hope we could working with some influential foundations to think about to remove the Spartina grass in Qingkouhe mudflat. The last one, we think the birds is struggling finding a stable and safe. So we are thinking about maybe solutions to provide them temporary high tide roosts like fish pond or wetland park for them to stop when the water is when the mudflat is covered by the river. Last, I will thank for the in Lianyungang. Also, Ms. Lianyungang and the SBS in China team is part of the China Coastal Water Bird Census team, but we were focused on the two coast conservations, and many other surveyors helping us do the surveys in the last few years. And also the foundation, SEE Foundation, Zhilan Foundation, Center for East Asian Australia, Flyway study provide the funding for the study, for the research here. And thank you very much. And my colleague Sandpiper and Northman Green Shank tomorrow. Thank you.